here to give you guys a very simple, like, need-to-know basics of, like, smokes on cache. There's lots of extra smokes that you guys can learn. This is just going to be very, very basic, like, NACS, like, minimalistic smokes that you need to learn. Now, I'm sure a bunch of people are going to be like, oh, we need to learn this smoke, or oh, it's mandatory to learn this smoke. This is just the stuff that I found that I've either taught myself or learned, and this is very, like I said, very minimalistic on, like, taking sites and stuff that people should know how to do, right? So we're going to start off here with mid. I'm going to go on over both T side and CT side. But here in mid, sometimes whenever I'm wanting to come out, I'll toss a smoke like this. It'll pop. And it's kind of like a self, you know, like the CTs can throw a smoke like this, but normally, depending upon the angle I throw it and how much force I put behind the smoke, it'll pop either further out or it'll pop more to the left. What the goal is to smoke off just enough so that I can get out here, see, so that I can get out here and peek white box, or I can come down here and peek, you know, peek this area over here. So what it is this is the smoke. It's used to, like, push out, and that's what it's used for. You can play around. It's very good to, like, play around. That's what it's for. It's one of those smokes you throw down, and they're like, what's going on? Are they running into the vent? And then you sneak out this side and you shoot them. You know, you play around the smoke. That's kind of what it's used for, and that's what I use it for. It's really good to kind of catch those rushes off guard. So next, we're going to head on over to A main, A site. Really, the only smoke that you really, like, must know is this one right here. This is the most simple smoke you can possibly know. You just aim at this little thing right here, the little square, or the plus sign, and what it's going to do is it's going to block off forklift and the red box, and it's going to block off that whole section of the map so that you can walk out onto site, and all you really have to worry about are these three major positions right here, okay? So, those three major areas, that keeps you from getting shot from the oppers or whatever, from the other spots. So next we're going to head on to B. There's really not, I mean, there's a certain way to do this, and I'm not going to look it up because that would kind of defeat the purpose of me telling you, oh, it's like a must-know smoke. I taught it myself. If you aim at around this area, what it'll do is it'll smoke off either the door, or it'll smoke off headshot, or it'll smoke off both. That's really what the goal is. You can throw that from multiple areas. What you're aiming at is the top of the sign, or the top of the plus sign right there. You can throw it like there, there, and there. So what you're doing is you're run throwing. You can throw it at any point. So what it is you're just trying to get the cross, because lots of oppers like to play down there. And like I said, the farther and deeper you throw it in, the more it'll conceal. So you can land like here, or you can land over here, and it can land over here. So just work with it, play with it. It's really not super, like, you know, difficult. Just toss it and get moving. That's really what it's used for. It's trying to get across, because, you know, like I said, it's just, you know, just easy smokes. So we're gonna head on over to CT side, and we're gonna discuss some of these smokes now. There's tons of different ways to smoke this stuff. I personally find smoking A main right here is a lot easier to do just by running. Lots of people come over here and, like, set it up. You can set it up at the car. You can set it up over here, I believe. I don't waste time with that. It takes practice. A lot of these, like, smokes that I, like, know, like, they take practice, and it's, like, because I've done them so long that I know what I'm doing, right? So I just toss the smoke like that. If you toss it too far, like I did, what it'll do is it'll pop up in there, and it'll pop, and it'll leave a gap, like I did, as I proved that I, you know, screwed it up. So, as I'm coming back over here, or not, I don't have my amazing fly thing up right now. The goal is to aim, like, right here, and aim, like, right about there. So what the goal is to have it pop on that ramp. That's what you want it to do. So it takes time, takes some practice. It's not really like, oh, hey, you can look at this. You're aiming in a general area, and you have to master tossing it while you're running. I mean, that's what the goal is here, is to toss this smoke while you're moving. So, see, that one was too far out, like I said, obviously, but, like I said, it takes practice, and it's just tossing it out. It's really not all that difficult. Now, the one in mid, the mid smoke, is going to be a lot easier to recreate, and it works a lot better and more consistently. What you're aiming is at the top of the grate right there, and you're tossing and you're throwing right there. See, very easy, bounces off the grate and pops that up. Now, this smoke, I'm going to stray away from the smoke right here. If you're trying to hold mid solo, just a little quick tip, the best way to hold mid solo without an op or something like that is to smoke it off like I just did, and then molly upper like that. There you go. so I don't have my bind to fly anymore. But that's what the goal is to toss it up there. You're aiming at around that area, and it'll bounce off and keep them out of upper, so that you can take control of mid and keep them out of here. So that's that smoke right there. The next, and I guess probably the final smoke that you like must know, is going to be this one over here at B. There's many ways to throw this smoke. War Owl went over this. Tons and tons of guys went over this. What you're aiming at from both down here and from up here is this little area right here. Either this or up here. It's really not all that difficult. You can throw it from down there, you can throw it from up here. You run out, you throw it, you just toss it like that, and what it does is it bounces off, and it conceals, for the most part, it conceals that. What that is that's trying to bait out the operas so that you can play around the smoke. Like I said, it's another one of those ones that you play around. You can throw it down here. Throwing it down here is a lot easier because you actually have to just aim at the plus sign, and that one's a little bit more consistent, if I knew what I was doing, right? That's the one I normally throw, but the other one can be thrown from up top as well. So, as we see, as I attempt to do this one last time. Yep, there you go. So, they're very, very easy to recreate. You're just basically blocking off this section to this section, and you got to watch the wood, because sometimes people push the smoke and then they jump up. So, basically, all the smokes you really like must know to play cash. There's really not a whole lot of them. Like I said, there's only like 6 like must know smokes for each side. So. You play around those. I hope those helped you guys out. If you have any other videos or anything y'all want me to go over, let me know and leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.